a corner out of Nebraska by the name of Stanley Jean-Baptiste, and I thought that dude was going to be a monster. He was 6'3", 216. He was built like a safety but played corner, super long, and he played 1 year in New Orleans.
He
played 4 games. He was out of the league from 2014 until 2017. Whoa. He signed with the Ravens and played 1 game, and he was awful. And I could not ship Stanley Jean-Baptiste off fast enough. But 2014 wasn't really full of misses for me. 2013 was the year that I was fresh into college, fresh into draft prep, fresh into looking at, and you didn't know that when drafts weren't good.
Wait, 2013?
Yeah, I graduated high school in 2012. Well, I guess 2012 was my freshman
year. You and I are the same age. Why did I graduated in 2011?
I went to school a year later. I didn't go to kindergarten until I was like 5 and a half. Okay. I was August baby.
Man, I was basically in diapers then.
You're 30. Relax.
Yeah, you're still old. Do you guys remember Bjorn Werner?
Bjorn. Was he drafted by the Colts?
Correct. That's the only team he played for.
I thought he ended up in New Orleans or something like that afterwards.
But he didn't make a start for him if he did. Played 3 years in New Orleans, 16 starts, 6.5 sacks. I thought that dude, he was a first-round pick. I thought that guy was going to be a monster.
Was that right after Freeney left or something like that? Like I remember, or maybe Mathis. I remember they were trying to replace one of those pass rushers, and I think Bjorn Werner was like the solution, or they were trying to make Bjorn Werner the solution?
Speaking of pass rushers, the guy that I would probably stake my flag in the ground and say that this is the most wrong I've ever been about a player. Do you guys remember Noah Spence?
No.
He played at Ohio State.
Vaguely remember that.
Had some issues off the field.
Defensive lineman.
He was a pass rusher, yes. But he had to go to Eastern Kentucky, and he dominated. Yeah. He was incredible there. But the off-the-field stuff followed him. He didn't go until the second round. He had a killer rookie year, 5.5 sacks, and then started 3 games the rest of his career. Noah Spence, in my mind, was going to be the dude, man. And that was the Von Miller Super Bowl year in 2016. Like, I was like, oh, this guy's the exact same. Speed off the edge. He's going to beat him. Dude didn't do diddly squat. I've got a million of these guys.
For me, the running backs, there's quite a few running backs. I thought Trent Richardson was going to be great. I thought Leonard Fournette was going to have a better career than he had.
So did the Colts, by the way. They traded a first-round pick for him.
And honestly, he ended up playing a decently lengthy spell in the NFL. It's not like he had a bad career, but I really thought Reggie Bush was going to be like a Hall of Fame caliber running back.
I mean, I feel like everybody could say Reggie Bush.
Yeah.
And it's not like he was a bad NFL
I wouldn't
player.
Call him a bust.
No. But it just never achieved the kind of heights that you expected that kind of an electric college football player to achieve.
He was never talked about in the same esteem he was at USC.
Yeah. I see, because I get the accusation a lot that because I went to Indiana that I'm a Colts fan. But if you could accuse me of being a fan of any team, it'd be the Ravens. Because my knowledge of the early 2010 Ravens rosters and draft picks and stuff like that, unmatched.
It's the only time we bond.
Yeah,
being able to say
you and I spent like an hour and a half, and then got some guy sitting in a bar to jump into the conversation. Because who was the left tackle that you named?
Oh, Eugene Monroe.
Oh,
and then Darryl Smith. We started talking about Darryl Smith.
Yes.
If you want to talk about running backs that I thought were going to be a dude, do you guys remember Marcus Lattimore?
Well, just a quick. Well, yeah, from South Carolina.
Yeah.
Yes,
he got his knee blown up.
Like in like 4 games before the season was over too. Like it was at the ass end of the season.
It was against Tennessee.
Really?
Yeah.
You robbed us. Dude, right. He was going to be incredible.
Yeah, it was Herman Lathers was the Tennessee linebacker that was going in to make that. That was a crazy game where Jadeveon Clowney, I think that was the game where Clowney blew up Tyler Bray when Tennessee was pushing for the win at the end. And Tiny Richardson, the true freshman left tackle, had been blocking Clowney all day and let him through on one play, and it was a sack fumble to basically end the game. I'm like 90% sure that was the game that ended Marcus Lattimore's career in Columbia. Yeah, he was a great player.
God,
a great player.
The 2013 draft it was an all-time name game.
Just to quickly put a bow on that comment earlier, though, Matt Elam and Brashad Perryman, 2 Ravens first-round picks that I thought were going to be good football players out of. Elam was Florida,
Florida
and
State,
Perriman was Miami.
UCF.
Was he?
Yes, because he scored a walk-off touchdown against ECU where our DBs took their chin straps off because they thought the game was over. He scored an 81-yard Hail Mary touchdown to beat ECU right in front of me, right in the student section, and I hated his guts.
I was convinced that Brashad Perriman was going to replace Torrey Smith and nobody would be the wiser.
God.
And then he's like a gadget player for the Bucs for a couple of years.
Remember, we talked about Matt Elam's career path because his nephew, Kair, the Titan, signed last year.
Insane.
The 3 years in Baltimore as a first-round pick, and then the Saskatchewan Roughriders, the DC Defenders, the Tucson Sugar Skulls, the Vegas Nighthawks, the Edmonton
Sugar
Elks.
Skulls is a cool name. I kind of like that.
IFL.
Oh, stop it. That sounds like somewhere that you would buy an Affliction shirt at. Come into Sugar Skulls. We've
Or
got
like, what were those earphones called?
Oh, Skull Candy.
Skull Candy.
Indoor football. He played for the Orlando Guardians and the Orlando Predators. It's an Arena League team and an XFL team. The Massachusetts Pirates.
Oh, that's awesome.
The San Diego Strike Force.
Oh, God, these aren't real teams.
And
You're
he
just
is,
saying
no,
stuff
these
now.
are all like
You're
indoor
just
football.
You're saying stuff.
He is currently playing.
Fitzy is calling games for the Indoor Football League. I can confirm that these are actual programs.
Matt Elam, at the age of 34, is currently a member of the San Antonio Gunslingers in the IFL.
Dude's just hustling. I remember his
honestly.
rookie year, he worked at a Foot Locker, and they made a big deal about it.
Oh,
He
yeah.
just wanted to still work his summer job that he promised.
Oh, I do remember that.
All right, I'm going to say some names, and you tell me if any of these do anything for you.
Yeah.
This is the 2013 running back crop. We had Eddie Lacy, Monty Ball, Le'Veon Bell, Giovanni Bernard, Niall Davis, who I thought was going to light it up for Kansas City.
Wait, so he was a Chiefs draft pick?
Yes,
Okay.
I believe in the third round. He was pretty high. Christine Michael for the Seahawks.
Didn't he have a moment too? He was
He
kind
did have
of
a
bigger
moment.
back.
He did have a moment. Speaking of somebody who had a terrible moment, Zach Stacy. Chris Thompson for the Redskins back then, Latavius Murray, Andre Ellington, Mike James, Rex Burkhardt, Theo Riddick.
Rex Burkhead.
Burkhead, yes, not Burkhardt.
Rex Burkhead probably had the best career out of any of them. That dude was still playing for the Texans 2 years ago.
He had a really good career. Yeah.
Be inclined to agree. How long did he play? He played from 2013 to 2022.
Buddy, I literally just covered a game with Rex Burkhead in it. They beat the Titans with I think Danny Amendola and Rex Burkhead on the Texans beat the Titans at Houston a couple of years ago. Took what was that Washington nickel that they drafted? What was his name? He plays for the Chargers now. Elijah Molden. Danny Amendola took Elijah Molden for a ride.
Did Rex Burkhead win a Super Bowl? He did.
I think he was a Patriot. Yeah,
He did. He did
a long
win
time.
Super Bowl LIII.
53?
I think
Something
it would
like
be
that.
43. I don't know.
L? No, that's if it starts with an L, it's a 50, right?
Yeah.
The 2019 Super Bowl.
This was fun. I like just saying names.
Me too.
It's one of my favorite bits. All right. 615-737-1045 is the number if you want to jump in. Let's go to Jay in Nashville.
Growing up a Tennessee fan, I had big hopes for this guy, like 6'4", 200, 4'4", 40. Had like an 11'4" broad jump. Thought he was going to be an absolute freak. He was a great track athlete. So excited when the Titans got him. Justin Hunter, man. I thought he was going to be an absolute stud. Thought he was going to be a freak in the NFL. Thought he was going to light it up. And, well, that didn't happen.
He had a moment. But yeah.
Very fleeting.
Very
moment.
fleeting moment.
Thank you for the call. I feel like Justin Hunter would come up for a lot of Vols fans.
Sure. Yeah, that ACL early in his career. I don't know if he ever truly was himself after that. But he did. He did have that slight moment, 2015.
SEC observations are next. It's Truck Month. Truck Month is the best month of the year, and it's going on right now at Two Rivers Ford. That means zero money down, 0% financing, and zero payments for 90 days. But only at Two Rivers Ford do you get zero surprises and zero pressure. You see, Two Rivers Ford, they do things a little differently than most dealerships. For starters, they have a non-commissioned sales team, so their salespeople are paid, whether you buy a truck or not. So take all the test drives, ask all the questions, check out the F-150, the Super Duty, the Maverick, the Ranger. Truck Month is all about you. And at Two Rivers Ford, you'll find the real price online every time. They don't add a bunch of accessories or add-ons that you don't know about until you get to the dealership. They pride themselves on honesty and transparency, just like they've done for over 4 decades here in Middle Tennessee. Two Rivers Ford also has one of the best inventories of Ford trucks in the Southeast because there's Ford Truck Month and then there's Two Rivers Ford Truck Month. So get to the South's most trusted Ford dealer for the best prices of the year on the best-selling truck in America. Local, honest, real, Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
$16 teams are left in the field on the men's side, and 4 of them are out of the SEC. Now that Florida is down for the count, which SEC team has the best chance to make a push to the Elite Eight, maybe potentially further? All four are on the right side of the bracket. In other words, the West and Midwest regions. You've got Arkansas, the 4 seed in the West, taking on 1 seed Arizona, who has lost 2 games all season. Darius Acuff is balling out in this tournament. You've got Texas facing Purdue in the West region. Purdue, the 2 seed, who sent Miami packing. Texas has surged out of the first 4, to beat NC State and then BYU and then Gonzaga, and now they face the Big Ten tournament champion Purdue Boilermakers. Down to the Midwest, it's Bama versus Michigan. Michigan, the 1 seed in that region. And, of course, it is 6 seed Tennessee against 2 seed Iowa State. So, I mean, we can just take it piece by piece here. Arkansas and Arizona.
That's over.
You think that's it?
I mean, Acuff is a monster.
I don't know that there's a hotter player in the tournament than Darius Acuff, but I think it's a bad matchup for Arkansas.
Yeah.
Arizona's length, their physicality, their transition defense, even on Darius Acuff's best day, those things could overwhelm the Razorbacks. But we've seen individual performances carry teams deep into tournaments before. Acuff is kind of riding that line, but I think I agree with you that Arizona is constructed to give a team like Arkansas a lot of problems, especially if they're not firing on all cylinders.
I'm sorry, you may have mentioned this, but did you mention which of these games has the biggest point spread between the two opponents? Do you have that in front of you?
Nope.
Do you want to guess?
Is it Arkansas?
It's not. Arkansas has...
it's Texas-Purdue.
No.
No?
Texas and Purdue and Arkansas,
Wait, don't tell
Arizona.
him. Keep guessing.
It's Bama-Michigan then.
Yeah, it's Bama-Michigan.
Okay.
Michigan's been the best team. They've looked the best out of any team in the tournament because even Arizona has been pushed.
I'm surprised it's not Texas-Purdue.
I'm just looking at one. I'm looking at ESPN Bet right now, so this may be different than other sports books. But right now, Arizona, Arkansas is 7.5.
Yep.
Texas, Purdue is 7.5. Michigan, Alabama, 9.5. And then Tennessee, Iowa State, 4.5. But in favor of Iowa State.
Interesting. Arizona, bad matchup for Arkansas. I think we all agree on that. Texas trying to keep this run alive against a Purdue team that seems to be playing its best basketball. This feels like a spot where Texas's run likely comes to an end. Offensively, they've been fantastic, but I think the biggest disadvantage I think a lot of these SEC teams have comes in the physicality department. Other than Tennessee, Iowa State, where I think they're fairly evenly matched there, and I think Tennessee may even have the edge with the injury to Joshua Jefferson, who doesn't look like he's going to play in this game. I mean, he was on a scooter, not putting any weight on a sprained ankle, the All-American forward. I think Tennessee could have the physical edge against Iowa State. Doesn't mean they'll win the game, but that feels like it's where Arkansas, Texas, and Bama come up short. But I look at Bama, Michigan, and if Alabama just keeps shooting like they've been shooting, they can beat literally anybody that they're matched up with. They are the best, highest scoring offense in the country, and that offense has not missed a beat without Aiden Holloway.
I still think you have to be able to get defensive stops, and that is just not Alabama's game.
It's not at all. Never has been under Nate Oates.
So I understand what you're saying about they can beat anybody in the tournament if they hit their threes like that because they just shell teams, right?
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. But I think that Michigan is such a more well-rounded basketball team than any team left in the tournament. I mean, they're obviously 1 seed, so that's not shocking to anybody. But they are. I mean, I picked them to win the title, but I've been surprised just how much better they look than the rest of the remaining field.
I feel like Bama would have to make 9 more threes than Michigan to win this game.
At least.
They can swarm LeBaron Philon. They're going to out-rebound Alabama in this game. They're bigger, they're longer, stronger. I'm with you. Again, bad matchups for Arkansas, for Texas, and for Michigan. But what about for Tennessee and Iowa State? Mentioned Joshua Jefferson. Doesn't sound like he's going to go. He had an MRI on Monday on his sprained ankle. I have not seen any updates on his status. I doubt we'll see anything definitive. Would be very surprised if he plays. Now, on the other hand, Nate Amen's health is a factor for Tennessee. And at every turn, Rick Barnes and his coaching staff are straight up saying, yeah, dude is not at 100% and is not going to be at 100%. He's not going to be the best version of himself at any point in this tournament on that ankle. So how much does that limit Tennessee's ceiling in this thing? I did see an interesting stat on CBS Sports that all 7 of Iowa State's losses this year have come on nights where its defense gives up a 31% or higher offensive rebound rate.
It's a good stat.
Tennessee statistically is the best offensive rebounding team in the country. So the thing is, the Vols did a lot of things against UVA that they haven't done all year, right? It looked like that game had a pretty similar script to countless Tennessee games this season, whether it's Missouri or Alabama or both Kentucky games, giving up a 9-point lead, missing free throws late, bad turnovers in the second half. Tennessee gave up a 9-point lead against UVA, had 9 of their 10 turnovers came in the second half, but they made clutch free throws late in the game. They actually got some scoring help from the backcourt with Bishop Boswell with 13 points, a career-high 4 3-pointers, and 9 assists. That has to continue, minus the turnovers against Iowa State for Tennessee to survive.
Am I dismissive of Tennessee, too dismissive of Tennessee, if I say that Virginia lost that game at the end? Because they made uncharacteristic errors.
I agree. Yeah. No, for sure. I mean,
I don't want to take anything away from Tennessee because that's as that's one of the better games they played all year. Given that they had the moments that have given them problems.
They made winning plays at the end, Tennessee did. Like J.P. Estrella with like the fadeaway jump hook, and defensively they came up in some big moments. But no, I do not disagree with you. When Tennessee lost that, and to be honest with you, this is my BVS talking, but when the Vols were up, I think it was an 8 or 9, and the flagrant was called on UVA for the push in the back of J.P. Estrella, and Tennessee had free throws and the ball, I was like, here's the chance to separate. Nate Ament made one of the 2 free throws, and the Vols didn't do anything with the ensuing possession. And then the Virginia run started, and I thought, oh, no, they're not going to win this game.
I just felt like Virginia got tight at the end. They looked a little nervy.
I agree.
In a big spot.
No, I agree. When UVA took that late lead, I thought, no, this Tennessee ain't winning this thing. And then they turned it around. They surged late, and they survived. Nate Ament, though, like we said, is not the version of Nate Ament that we've seen take over some games this year. I don't know how he did what he did against Auburn in the SEC tournament.
Drugs.
And sure. But I wonder how much that took out of him.
Shot him up full of horse tranquilizer, said, all right, big fella, get out there.
Yeah, and then the next day he plummeted against Vanderbilt. He was non-existent against Miami of Ohio, but Tennessee was able to afford taking him out, limiting his minutes. He played 18 minutes in that game, didn't have a point. And then he was effective against UVA, but also was 4 of 11 from the floor and missed some buckets around the rim that you would think a fully healthy Nate Ament would make. But I think that has a chance to be the most competitive game involving an SEC team in the Sweet 16, Tennessee and Iowa State. But we'll see. What's our gut telling us? How many of these 4 SEC teams move on?
I'm sorry. Robert and I both got distracted because somebody made a comment in the chat that said, Robert looks like Randy Marsh when he finally found the internet.
God, dude, shut up. That is comment of the day. David Russell 2934. You win.
What, just the way he's sitting looking at the computer?
Every day I have a little ritual so I can keep my mind fresh. I'll knock the Wordle and the connections out. And I must have just looked over here like I was just pensively going over how the hell does blur, muddy, and obscure go together? Like, it looks like when Randy Marsh found the internet. That's incredible.
That's so good. I'm sorry. Ask your question again.
What's our gut on the 4 SEC teams? How many of them move on to the Elite Eight? How many SEC teams are still alive on Saturday?
I'd say 1. I'd probably pick Tennessee as an underdog, but they don't cover. Like they're 16 and 18 against the spread this year. Not a good. I wouldn't put my money on it.
Who's got the highest ceiling out of these SEC teams?
Ooh, I would say Arkansas.
I agree. I feel like Acuff could absolutely just put them on his back. I mean, all the way to Indianapolis.
And it's not like it's just him. He gets the headlines because he can, score 30 at will, it seems. But they feel like they have, with the best player left on any of these 4 SEC teams, right? There may not be a better player in the tournament than Darius Acuff right now.
Yeah, he's got a really strong argument for it. Now, how about this, though? Jacoby Gillespie says, now, hang on a second. He is one of 3 players all time to record 50-plus points and 15-plus assists in their first 2 NCAA tournament games. He joins Billy Donovan when he was playing for Rick Pitino in Providence in the 80s, and Kemba Walker in that 2011 run with UConn, which was arguably the greatest individual performance start to finish in a men's tournament that we've ever seen. So Jacoby Gillespie is putting his name up there with some pretty incredible performances. He's been fantastic for Tennessee. So See what happens.
All right. What do we have to give away?
Dang it. How did I not get that Fortune, People, Spin, and Time are all magazines? Come on.
The People in Time should have.
Well, okay, you do connections, dude. It's hard some days. It's hard. The only connections you're making is food in your mouth. Don't talk to me like that when I'm trying to be smart back here. I'm definitely not stalling for V Creative to load.
I literally asked you this 20 minutes ago so you could be ready.
I know what it is, but I don't have the details. It is Thomas Rhett.
Oh.
You guys, I have friends that are both named Thomas and Rhett, so if you put them together, I would be doubly interested. I can't tell you a Thomas Rhett song, though. You guys know a Thomas Rhett song?
Oh, I don't think I do.
Not off the top of my head.
Oh, I knew I didn't.
But he's
remember
like,
this.
I know who Thomas Rhett is. Like I know who Hardy is and things like that. But like a lot of these concert tickets, I've just been kind of like, who?
Oh, they're having Dante's son as a special guest. So it's Thomas Rhett and Neil Horan?
Isn't he a One Direction guy?
Niall?
I think it's Niall Horan. I think he was in One Direction.
Okay, well, it's Thomas Rhett and him
Guess they
with
all went
special
different
guests
directions.
Cassius Culpepper, Dante's son, and Emily Ann Roberts at Geodis Park July 9th. It's not really Dante Culpepper's son, by the way. I don't know who Cassius Culpepper is. They're acting like he's a special guest. I assume it. The only Culpepper I know is Dante.
If you want to win those Thomas Rhett tickets and friends, Thomas Rhett and friends, 615-737-1045. Somebody in the chat said something about a truck and a beer. I don't know if he's making a joke or if that's just every country song ever. Is that an actual Thomas Rhett
I
song?
think every country song since, like, what, Robert, 2007, 8?
Truck, beer, dog, woman, right?
Have you ever heard the Bo Burnham song Pandering?
No.
There's a girl with her arms out in a cornfield. That is a scarecrow. He's just making fun of all countries. So you need to go listen to Pandering.
We
So
do
anyway,
we do a
Thomas Rhett tickets.
terrible job of promoting these acts that we have tickets to give away with. But if you have Thomas Rhett, if you want Thomas Rhett tickets, call us 615-737-1045 and give us the dumbest thing in sports this week. It most certainly is. 615-737-1045 is the number. Call in, give us the dumbest thing in sports this week, and we will give you a pair of tickets to see Thomas Rhett and others who are going to be playing with Thomas Rhett. The dumbest thing in sports this week is Dan Orlovsky. And I wasn't really, I wasn't doing all these rabbit hole conspiracy theories about Dan's repped by CAA and Ty Simpson is a CAA client, so Dan is just doing the dirty work of agents and things like that. There was a lot of conspiracy theory stuff when Dan Orlovsky went on Get Up and said that he believes Ty Simpson is a better quarterback prospect than Fernando Mendoza. Fine. Dan watches film. Dan's a former NFL quarterback. I don't agree with the position, but maybe there's something that Dan is seeing that translates better to the NFL that Ty Simpson does that Fernando does not. But then he made an appearance on a Pat McAfee show yesterday. Dan Orlovsky did. And the defense, how would you feel if the three of us have watched this clip? If you haven't, I would recommend it. It's on McAfee's feed. The tweet simply says, Fernando Mendoza is QB1. How would you feel if you were Dan Orlovsky and Pat McAfee and his band of merry men invited you on their show to just obliterate you? Because that's what they did. They took him out pretty hard and really nuked any argument, especially when Dan led off the conversation with, they're talking about Mendoza's performance in big games. And Orlovsky counters with, what big games? Fernando Mendoza didn't basically annihilate everybody that he played this year except for Ohio State and Miami, two games in which he won and showed incredible toughness and made game-winning plays to put them over the top. I don't know what his logic was behind the Ty Simpson greater than Fernando Mendoza discussion, but any leg that he had to stand on, McAfee just chopped out from under him. And I think it's because McAfee is a very strong Indiana supporter, given his time with the Colts, and I think they still do the show in Indianapolis, which is, why would anybody want to spend additional time in Indianapolis if you didn't have to? I think Pat just genuinely loves the state of Indiana. Watching that clip that was making the rounds yesterday of Orlovsky just getting picked apart, I almost felt bad for him.
Yeah, the what big games is such an insane statement.
Crazy.
Unthinkably insane. So, and the thing is, I do think people were overreactionary on the statement of, I like Ty Simpson better than Fernando Mendoza. That to me is not this crazy outlet. Mendoza is not this.
Well, sure, but you're also chief propagandist for Ty Simpson. So we have to remember this.
It's just the way that we every year in the draft box ourselves into certainties. Well, no, this player is better than this player. Well, no, we don't know that. We have no idea. Ty Simpson, it is very feasible, especially if Mendoza is a Raider, that Ty Simpson has a better NFL career than Fernando Mendoza.
Oh, sure.
Far stranger things have happened in the NFL. So we just box ourselves into this. And when somebody says, I think Ty Simpson's a better prospect, people just attack. So at first, I was like, well, okay, we're going to just go at Dan Orlovsky just for saying this. But the logic that has followed has just been insane. My dumbest thing in sports is the fact that SEC baseball rivalry weekend is happening this weekend. In the middle of March Madness, Tennessee and Vandy are playing this weekend at Hawkins Field. Auburn, Alabama, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, Texas. The Sweet 16, the Elite Eight, is happening this weekend on the men's and women's side. Tennessee men's hoops is still playing. Vandy women's hoops is still playing. Gentry Estes wrote a good piece on the Tennessean about this, about just the senselessness of the SEC moving its biggest rivalry weekends from May up to March. Who's going to be watching these games this weekend? As opposed to May, where the weather is beautiful for it, there's some buzz around it, and it's the biggest thing happening in college sports. It's the dumbest thing in sports this week. I can't even begin to fathom the reason why the SEC would do this. Put the games that draw the most attention during the college baseball regular season up against maybe the best college sporting event that exists in the NCAA tournament. It makes no sense to me.
Maybe just nobody cares. Nobody cares about the SEC. You ever think about that? Did you ever think about that? Something Brock Lesnar didn't think about. Are you guys familiar with the tattoo that Brock Lesnar has on his chest?
Sword in the middle of the chest?
Well, it's like a brass knuckle sword, one that you would stick your fingers through and to hold. He told a story on the Spitting Chicklets podcast about how he got that tattoo and why I think it is possibly one of the dumbest tattoos in sports.
Sword in your chest. What was the idea behind it? It's intimidating.
I got that tattoo. I was face drunk in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Okay, I did it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did it.
I was in Scottsdale training for the NFL, had just gotten in a motorcycle accident, and I was just kicked down hard. Like I was going through all that stuff, and there was a tattoo shop across the street from the biker bar, and that's not a good place to have a tattoo shop. All right, I got this tattoo. I didn't even know I got the damn thing. I wake up the next day and I'm like, what in the is this thing?
Well, at least it's subtle. At least it's not on your face.
Yeah. But the meaning behind it was I felt like my back was against the wall and somebody had a sword, a knife stuck to my throat. Like, what are you going to do now? You know what I mean?
So Brock Lesnar was high on pain pills, at a biker bar, drunk off his ass, saw that tattoo parlor light, saw the open light, and was like, I want a sword on my chest.
A brass knuckle sword.
I want a brass knuckle sword on my chest. And no one will ever tell him to his face that that's a dumb tattoo. So, Brock Lesnar, you're my dumbest thing in sports, but I don't really.
From a distance.
I don't really mean it. I don't know if you put it out as a poll today or not, but I put a poll in. What are the dumbest tattoos in sports?
I did not.
Yeah, I figured. Don't.
AJ McCarron chest tat.
Oh.
All-timer. Also Tyler Bray back tat. Another all-timer.
Yeah, people aren't going to forget your name. Like you don't have to get your name tattooed across your shoulders. And if anybody in the audience is offended by that, like objectively, it's a dumb tattoo. Like Mason Kinsey has one of these where it's not just his last name, but it's his jersey number. He has the whole jersey number tattooed on his back. I think that's a little excessive. I don't know. It's your body, your choice. Do what you want. Yeah, I don't know.
Man, this guy really hates young underdog receivers, man. First Restrepo, now Kinsey. What did these guys do to you?
Nothing.
Man, he just hate anybody that's actually worked for something, huh? Good Lord.
Yeah,
I mean, you go at these guys more than anybody else, I swear.
It's, ask the Titans. That's not true. One of the worst tattoos ever, and I don't know if you would consider this a sports tattoo, but
No, yours isn't that bad, buddy. You don't have to throw yourself under the
no,
bus
the
like
one that Mitch Firkins got of my signature.
No, stop it.
That was crazy.
The great one should have been fan of the year.
I said it on air, and I mean it. I will pay for that to be removed if at whatever point Mitch would like to get that removed, because that's just a crazy thing to do.
Nah, it was cool. It was cool. He's the great one.
Okay. It's probably not even the worst tattoo he's got. 615-737-1045 is the number if you would like to jump in. How about Ricky in Portland?
How's it going, guys?
Pretty good.
Yeah, my biggest sports influence growing up was my dad, and this isn't really a sports thing, but it's kind of a workaround. He recently took a vacation to Maine and went to a lobster joint and ordered a burger. And then had the nerve to complain about the burger.
That's excellent. Thank you, Ricky, for the call. That's
a great off-field submission.
That's a good off-field submission. If you're gonna not do a sports one, we would, just for the sake of simplicity, say stick to sports in this particular situation. But that's a good one.
First time I ever went to Chick-fil-A, I asked for a burger when I was a little kid. Like
how little?
Oh, probably middle school.
Old enough to get that ass whooped.
Maybe 8th grade. Our neighbor's family was taking us to, my parents had never taken me to Chick-fil-A. And we were just in a fast food drive-thru. I was like, I'll get a cheeseburger. They're like, they don't have burgers, you little idiot.
Now you get to eat the straw paper.
RJ is in Murfreesboro.
Yeah, I think my dumbest thing in sports, this is not just this week. This has been a long-going thing, but the more I see it, the more it irks me. The City Connect jerseys in the MLB, they're ridiculous. The Philadelphia one, the Minnesota one, they just look bad. But the whole idea behind the jerseys is it's supposed to connect to the city. They don't. The St. Louis one is called the Lou. Nobody calls St. Louis the Lou. Nobody calls Pittsburgh PGH. It's just ridiculous jerseys that don't look good in the home jerseys, and I just think it's a bad idea.
Well, I'm looking at them now. Thank you for the call, RJ, and remember to stay on hold for the chance to win those tickets. I'm looking at the ones that Reddit has a post of every one. I like the Miami one just because the colors.
Robert, do people call Baltimore B-more?
No.
That's what's on the Orioles.
No,
jerseys.
they're all bad.
That would
terrible.
be like Nashville having one and it says Nash Vegas.
Yes,
No.
that was exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. I was going to say just Nash. I hate when people just refer, oh, you from Nash? I'm like, oh.
Who does that?
I've had people do that to me
Who
before.
does that? That's offensive.
It just sounds like such a Chad. Like, oh, you from Nash, bro?
I got so mad, unnecessarily mad, the other day. I just doom scrolling TikTok, and we've got a lot of influencers that are moving to the city because, whatever. There's an entire economy built on social media clout. And it's just this dude in a ball cap sitting there, I assume on his porch or something like that. And he's saying, I think that Germantown in Nashville is the best neighborhood anywhere in America. I've lived, and he names all of the place that you least want people to move here from. I've lived in Los Angeles, Orange County, Austin, I'm like,
Upper West Side.
It's the first time and I'm not a native, but I've lived in Tennessee longer than anywhere else in my life. It's the first time that I felt like one of you where I'm just like, just leave. Just get out. Get out of here now.
Those MLB hats that they did with the expletives when they accidentally had
accidental expletives.
Yeah, that was worse than this, but it's a good submission.
Yeah. Jordan in Nashville.
Hey guys, my dumbest thing in sports happened at the Carolina Panthers press conference yesterday. Brent Tillis, EVP of football operations, was updating the media on the offseason moves. A radio host called in to ask a question. However, an advertisement for FanDuel came through via the radio station's live feed. Tillis was confused at first, but as the promo continued, he could only laugh. Make sure your promo, your live feed is correctly, or even know how to record sound from a Zoom conference.
Thank you for the call.
Hold
Lucas. No. Just 1 second. Well, actually, you go ahead.
I think that guy was AI.
Jordan?
I don't think that was a real person.
He's just prepared.
He always calls in with I think he may be reading off something.
I think he's always
that's okay.
AI. That was not a real person.
That's fine. So the tweet, Lucas, did you see this clip?
No.
So it's not a Zoom call, but I guess they are holding a press conference where the participants ask questions via Zoom, and the EVP of the Panthers is sitting there in person. And the quote, or the tweet with the video that initially went around said, I've never seen this happen in a press conference. And it's a FanDuel promo that's running in the middle of the press conference. Do you remember doing this to Mike Vrabel?
Yeah. Early days of the show. I mean, literally maybe a month into the show.
It might have been the first year that we were on the air.
No, it definitely was.
Because we were trying to carry the press conference on the air. Lucas was still producing the show at the time, and all of a sudden, I can't remember if it was me opening the show, but it was my voice doing the radio show in the middle of the Mike Vrabel Zoom press conference, and I can't remember what Mike said it was. I think we're still running the damn imaging. It's like, we all know you have a radio show, Buck, or something like that.
Yeah, he was not happy.
Not happy.
That's your ringtone, dude.
The Vrabel thing?
Yes, we all. Every time you get a call and the ringer's on.
No, the Vrabel ringtone that I have is the one where he calls Lucas my stretch. That makes me happy.
That's not the only thing you're trying to stretch.
RJ or Jordan? City Connect or the Panthers press conference radio photobomb, however you want to describe it.
I liked Jordan's submission.
That's not nice.
His submission
That's a real
was
person.
very eloquent.
He was prepared.
He was very prepared.
I think Jordan should get the tickets for being prepared, and Robert should have to talk to him.
I had to talk to him anyway. Hell, I put him on hold.
He's a better broadcaster than any of the three of us because he's prepared.
Yes, my address is 123 Easy Street.
Dixie.
All right. Congratulations, Jordan.
Oh, not Dixie. Who said this?
Oh, your friend, Dixie.
Oh, somebody said a guy from London and Jack Reacher getting into a fight in a Brentwood neighborhood is the dumbest thing in sports this week.
Wait, Brentwood,
It was
Tennessee?
Dixie. Yeah, you didn't see this? Alan Richson.
No,
Yeah.
I saw the video. I thought it was like Brentwood, California.
No. It was here.
They're both stupid. They're both dumb. Why the hell are you riding through residential areas with your motorcycle, and then why the hell are you stepping out in front of someone that's riding a motorcycle?
Okay, but the guy that steps in front of the motorcycle is way dumber than the guy.
No, he's not. You don't drive through a neighborhood on a sports bike going that fast. He said he had done it multiple days in a row. They're both stupid. Throw out some caltrops next time and pop his tires.
Yeah, I agree. Jack Reacher trying to rip up a Brentwood neighborhood on his motorbike is dumb. And the guy trying to step in front of Jack Reacher's motorbike is also dumb. Thad Castle, however you want to say it.
His TMZ interview was so great. We got to go. I'm not even going to talk about it.
Also, Thad Castle looks a lot different than he did in Blue Mountain State. Like
that was like over a decade
ago.
ago.
Peptides.
Is it peptides? I was going to assume something more nefarious.
Like good drugs or?
Yeah, good drugs.
Good for him.
It's like 15 years ago, Blue Mountain State.
Is it really? Such a good show. 615-737-1045 is the number. Jeremiah Love had his pro day yesterday. We'll talk about it next. The Tennessee Men's Clinic is here to help you if you're somebody who has struggled or is struggling with ED or performance issues. They have helped so many guys over the course of the last decade plus get back to peak performance. Online folks promise convenience and discretion, but their treatments are generic. Some are even unsafe. So there's no more excuses. The Tennessee Men's Clinic is the state's first men's health-focused urology practice with multiple urologists and providers focused solely on male performance. No unproven snake oil or peptides without solid research. Since 2014, they have pioneered men's health in the state of Tennessee and have been testing and growing to make sure you get the best care and the safest, most effective treatments. So call them today at 615-208-9090. That's 615-208-9090 right now, or book online in under 30 seconds at TennesseeMen'sClinic.com.
This is a different court, Blair.
Same result, Slay.
Oh, okay, Blair. See, that's Tyler Tanner. See, Tyler Tanner's in the house now.
Let's see what you got. Jerry's out, Blair.
Blair, come on. Okay, Blair, just come sit down. Come on, Blair, stop. You're going to get hurt. Blair, get off the court. That's enough.
What's the verdict, Blair?
The courtroom is where I play ball.
Boy, Durham, injury law. And that ain't got no roof.
Welcome back to the show. Fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken. Who do you love? This George Thorogood and the Destroyers.
And the
right?
Destroyers.
See, if you wanna do like 1960s, 1970s music, I got you. Anything else, I'm wildly outdated. Robert was making fun of Lucas and me during the commercial break because Lucas was fascinated by this YouTuber, iShowSpeed. Robert, what did you say to us?
I love when you guys find out about people who have been famous for like 8 years on the internet.
It's funny because you are the middle child.
I'm chronically online, yes.
Situation, but you are the one keeping Lucas and I aware of what the kids are doing these days as we get into our 30s. Because I don't know who else is going to keep us young around here. I feel like we're not going to age well as a show, just generally.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, we're not good now.
God, can you imagine? So, Jeremiah Love, who do you love? He had his pro day yesterday, and he was not participating in the pro day yesterday. So Notre Dame, it was really the Notre Dame pro day, and Jeremiah Love was there, was present, was interviewing, was talking to teams, was talking to scouts, was talking to NFL Network. Is there a better TV reporter right now in sports than Stacey Dales?
Oh, she hustles, man.
She's a stud.
Like Combine is where she just shines.
Well, and she's
everywhere.
Because we have talked about the dreck that is Combine podium availability with players. She's always there. She's always got her notebook. She's always asking thoughtful questions. She knows the players' backgrounds and things like that. She's excellent. She's excellent at what she does.
Taylor Rooks is really good too.
Yes.
She does what? NBA?
Yes.
Okay.
She's incredible.
I'm unfamiliar.
You need to change that.
Okay.
She is exceptional.
Okay.
She is the best of the best.
All right, now get on.
Best in the business.
Calm down. Yeah, all right. I get it. So, Stacey Dales was talking to Jeremiah Love yesterday, Robert, at your convenience, courtesy of the NFL Network. And we talked yesterday about what Todd McShay said on his podcast, the Titans' interest in Jeremiah Love. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Talia. What's her last name?
Baia.
Talia Baia?
There you go.
Okay. She, sports fans probably know her because she is the Florida student sports reporter that went viral several times during Florida's basketball national championship run. But we ran into her at the Combine, and Robert asked her for a picture of the three of us as she was schlepping around all of her TV equipment because her first TV gig out of college is South Bend, which is pretty damn good, covering Notre Dame and Notre Dame athletics, despite living in South Bend. Anyway, so Talia Baia of what TV station, Robert, so I can give proper credit?
Oh, I got to click on her thing. ABC 57.
ABC 57 in South Bend was there to participate in Jeremiah Love's media availability at his pro day, and this is what the former Notre Dame running back, had to say.
I'm a pretty simple guy. You draft me, I'm not doing too much of nothing other than football. Like, outside of football, like, I'll go out here and there. But I'm the type of guy, like, my perfect day after a game, going home, play video games, talk to whoever I want to talk to, and watch anime. So I'm a simple guy. You're going to get strictly a football player with me, which is what you want. It's going to be my job. So I'm going to take it very seriously, and I'm going to give you my all, and I'm not going to cause you no type of trouble.
Guy, him and Chig are going to get along great when he gets drafted by the Commanders.
Why do you say that?
They both love anime.
Oh, Chig. I feel like this is also a cultural thing that I just missed on, or like I aged out of, because I feel like weren't Saturday morning cartoons when we were growing up just all anime? Like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon. I mean, is Pokemon considered anime?
Technically. Yeah,
Digimon,
Dragon Ball Z. Any of that. BeetleBots.
I'm not familiar with that. Well, I feel like I watched One Piece. Like on,
you watched the new live action one. You didn't watch the
No, the cartoon. Like wasn't it on Cartoon Network or something like that? Like I remember. What's the guy's name? What's the lead character's name? It's been 100
Luffy.
years. Luffy. Yeah, I definitely watched One Piece.
Yeah, you were in deep. You were Full Metal Alchemist and Yu Yu Hakusho and all that stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, I feel like I've aged out of it. But it's a common thing. So Jeremiah Love's interview there, though. He basically sounds like Cam Ward, right? Where Cam says, I don't want to talk to anybody but my parents, my teammates, and my dog.
And Ruben Bain. Also. Don't care about haircuts. That is a very Cam Ward thing to say.
No, I think even Cam cares about his haircut. I think that the Jeremiah Love thing, does it feel like Titans fans' version of Joe Alt, where we just spend all this time talking about him, you fall, no pun intended, in love with the idea of him, and then he just ends up not going to your team? I mean, I think it's entirely possible that he ends up, but don't we feel like the percentage chance, based on who the coaching staff is, what we know about the front office, even if you consider the Schefter thing a smokescreen or the McShay thing a smokescreen, it does feel like the percentage chance that they take Jeremiah Love has dropped.
Because of how his stock is being inflated, or?
Not even. Just because of what we are learning about the coaching staff, the way that the rosters have been constructed in Kansas City. And I know Mike Borgonzi wasn't running the show while he was in Kansas City. At his best, he was the assistant general manager before he ended up becoming the general manager here, his first opportunity to run the show. But roster construction in Kansas City and Green Bay, if we're to factor in Brinker at all into this, running back has never been a high priority. And I'm not saying that you have to stick to your guns, your philosophical guns. I think you should be always willing to evolve your strategies just based on the talent that's available every year. If you're doing this the right way and in a situation where you're not feeling the pressure from ownership or coaching staff or whatever the case may be. He is the betting favorite to go to the Titans, though, Jeremiah Love.
What is that? What are those odds? Do you have them?
I saw, I don't have them in front of me. I think it was minus 175 last I looked, maybe FanDuel.
And those things will change every single week.
For sure. But I don't think that's just, I don't think that's circumstantial. I think that Vegas odds should have at least some part in the discussion. Hey, just so you're aware, he is still the betting favorite to go to the Titans at 4.
Yeah. Who's the second?
I can pull that up for you if you give me. Why don't you expound on your thoughts on Jeremiah Love?
I bet it's Love, Bain, Bailey. I bet that rounds out the top 3.
While he's looking that up, can you tell me the last wide receiver to be taken at 4?
The last wide receiver to be taking at 4, running back.
The last wide receiver.
At 4 specifically.
Corey was 5.
What was Jamar Chase?
Not 4. He was like 6.
Yeah.
I think he was behind Penei Sewell.
Yeah.
Or no. Either way, it's another question.
It wasn't Jefferson. Did he end up being?
It was in 2015.
Oh, okay. Oh, man.
Played at Alabama.
Not Julio.
No, definitely not.
Drafted by the Raiders.
Amari Cooper.
There you go. And then before that, A.J. Green.
Just give us all of the hints.
Then before that, Sammy Watkins.
He was so good. I thought he was going to have a better career than DeAndre Hopkins.
Sammy Watkins?
They were on the same Clemson team.
No, I remember
Sammy was the more productive player.
He was, like, it's crazy to say that, like, if you didn't watch it, but, like, he was better than D-Hop was at Clemson.
Like, on that
he was
team,
incredible.
Sammy was the bigger threat. Yeah. Robert's right.
Well, he went to Buffalo. Who was his quarterback?
Oh, like Ryan Fitzpatrick,
I think
maybe.
he got the bad run of Buffalo. And also, didn't he go he went a little haywire, right? Like he's talking about like lizard people and flat earth theories and stuff like that.
I don't know nothing about that. I know he had a game winner his rookie year in the corner of the end zone, and I was like, oh, yeah, that dude's a dude. I think it was snowing, too. It was awesome.
The chat is saying that Marvin Harrison Jr. was number 4 overall, Robert.
All right, well, that's another one.
2024.
That's another one. If you want to talk about that, I'd rather talk about the team.
What you meant was pre-2024.
Why do we even have a chat? I don't even have those guys. Why don't y'all come in here and do this show?
We should. That would be a great way for us to just mail in a show. Be like, have like a listener contest. Come host the show for a day. So
Curtis 077 and Dixie N.
Well, it's not Dixie N.
No, it is. They changed the name. Okay. Dixie N. 1, 2, 3.
Anyway, so the top 5 in terms of betting odds for the Tennessee Titans pick at number 4. Jeremiah Love is minus 135, not 175. I misspoke. It is then David Bailey at plus 450, Sonny Styles plus 700, Ruben Bain plus 800, Carnell Tate plus 950. So that That feels pretty right. Although I think if you'd have asked this question a month ago while we were getting ready to go to the combine, Bain probably would have had the betting odds or the been favored there, not fourth on the list. All right, let's get into Robert. What is the tease that you would like to set up for this next?
Everyone, stop texting me. I know.
Or you're getting texted.
I know. Like I know.
But you didn't know.
Yeah, but guys, listen. Hey, before we go on to the next thing, I know.
But now you do
I know.
Everybody
I know
ran to
about
their
it, guys.
phones.
God, everybody's sitting out there just can't wait to text somebody and be like, oh, what about this guy? Hey. I ain't teasing nothing. I ain't got nothing to talk about. It ain't my show.
It is my least favorite things. It is your show.
It ain't my show.
It's our show. It is my least favorite thing that people do is when you say something and then they immediately text you their opinions. Like, okay, I'll get to it.
I don't mind it.
I know you do mind it. You complain about it. Don't try to be nice and relatable.
Shout out Austin Stanley of A to Z Sports.
Oh, Texas, yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, my bad.
But I love when people text us their thoughts. Like Austin texted us during that conversation about Marcus Lattimore. He said, Lucas remembers that Tennessee-Carolina game exactly like I do. I love knowing people are listening and chiming in.
But it's dumb.
Well, no, let me finish.
I know.
But like whenever we hit a spot where we're like, oh, well, who was this player? And people listening are
just
like, oh, I'm going to text him. Like, we are on like a 20-second delay. So we will have Googled it and figured it out by then.
Joseph is also bad about that.
Joseph does do this.
Like, dude, you work in the building with us. You know we're on a 20-second delay.
Like, we'll be like, who is that Titans receiver from 2015? Justin Hunter. Like, yeah, buddy, we Googled it like 30 seconds ago.
Joseph reminds me of the person that does not realize that all of us have Twitter and that all of us will get the news updates as Adam Schefter puts them out and then immediately runs to the chat to inform us that Adam Schefter is reporting that such and such just got a new deal. Like, I know.
Here's what happened.
It's okay.
I was trying to stall. I looked up last time a wide receiver was taken at 4, and Google AI gave me that list.
No accountability.
Yeah, I'm taking accountability for it. I just love when I'm wrong. It makes me feel really good. Makes me feel really good. Something else makes me feel really good are rule changes. The UFL adopting some new rules to try to get fan engagement and excitement up. Should the NFL adopt some of these? We'll find out next.
Welcome back to the show. Fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken. God, you got a vibe today.
Yeah, I was channeling my Grover Washington Jr. Let everyone text me that that's not him. It's actually Bill Withers. Just go ahead and make another mistake so everybody can text me about it. And I know. No
one is ever going to text Robert during the show again. This is effective by you.
I know. Hey, quit texting me during the show because I already know.
I do think people think they're being genuinely helpful without realizing that we're on delay. And some people actually are. Like I get plenty of texts throughout the course of the show that are actually helpful. And that help us have different versions of the conversation. So I don't want to say every text is not helpful, but not nearly as helpful as you think you're being.
I'm just butthurt.
I understand. So let's get you out of your butthurt state. Talk to me about these UFL rules that you want the NFL to adopt, because owners' meetings are next week. I'm going to be there Saturday to Wednesday. And there are going to be rule changes and rule adaptations voted on by the NFL. Would you like me to submit something on behalf of you to the competition committee?
Nah, you don't have to submit these. Okay. I honestly don't know if the NFL should adopt these. Like most of these are kind of abstract, but I do think it makes for interesting conversation. So the 3 rule changes the UFL are adding in 2026. Number 1, they banned the tush push. I don't know if it was running rampant in the UFL and the Birmingham Stallions just could not be stopped on their quarterback sneaks, but there will be no more. No longer can you tush push in the UFL. Number 2, there are 4-point field goals. So you can kick a field goal from wherever. I assume it is 4 points. And then the 3rd, you are not allowed to punt once you cross the 50-yard line.
I love that one. I would love if the NFL would take that one.
They never would.
No, God. Are you kidding me? Vrabel's on the competition committee. He'd vote against it.
God, it would be so much fun, though. It would be such a fun league. Because you're at the 49, it's 3rd and 1. You're like, do we try to get first down here, guys? You think you could do it?
I mean, teams would hate it. And it would be a step in the direction of making the punter extinct. Like, I'm sure if we put that in front of Brett Kern, he would admonish us.
They're taking my job.
How long? You don't know how long the 4-point field goals are?
Of at least 60 yards.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So if there's 60, it's a 4-point. Okay,
yeah,
I
60 yards
it.
plus.
That would be cash in the NFL. The amount of, the way kickers are just banging
and that would
in.
be a real weapon in the form of, point shaving, trying to get somewhere and doing, the math. A 4-point field goal is crazy.
Yeah, also something that would never be
because
accepted in the NFL.
If you're up 3 and you can kick a 4-point field goal, you go up a touchdown. Instead of worrying, okay, we actually have to get a stop here.
In the NFL, I feel like you got to push it to 70.
No.
Yes. No. We've already had a 70-yard field goal made. That dam has been broken. It was in preseason, but
yeah.
It happened.
Okay.
How many of them have hit from 65?
A bunch.
Because it's the Jags kicker, it's the Cowboys kicker. Who else has one of these?
Redacted from Baltimore.
Did Tucker
redacted?
Okay,
redacted.
Here's the list. Cam Little, 68, the NFL record, Jacksonville.
So no one's hit a 70 in a real game.
No, Cam Little is the one who hit the 70 in the preseason. Cam Little also has the second longest field goal, 67, which is against the Titans in the regular season finale.
Oh, that's not worthy of a...
Thank you. Good job by you.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Redacted, former Ravens kicker, hit a 66-yarder.
Against Detroit. That game was bonkers.
Yep. In 2021. Yeah, the crossbar before... that was as time expired too, right?
It was no, I don't think there was a single touchdown in that game.
What year?
1917. 21.
No, it wasn't 1917.
No, the game.
The final score.
Yes, 1917. Someone's going to text us. It was 2000.
It was 2021.
Come on, you idiots. They don't even have field goals back then.
We got to stop talking about people texting us because I've gotten inherently more texts since we've talked about people texting.
Just keep getting texts. 68 yards, Cam Little. 67 yards, Cam Little. 66 yards, redacted. 65 yards, Brandon Aubrey and Chase McLaughlin. 64 yards, Matt Prater against the Titans in 2013, which at the time was the longest in NFL history.
And he was butthurt that people broke his record too, buddy.
Did he? Was that a?
He was like, oh, people were alleging because that kick was when he was with Denver, right?
Yep.
So it was like, oh, he broke the record with that thin air, and he went at people like, if it's not that big a deal, then somebody else do it, and then it got broken.
Yes, it got broken by multiple people. So. Long story short, 5 instances with 4 different kickers have field goals of 65 or more yards been made in the NFL.
I will hear you on 65. 70 is outrageous.
No, we're getting close to 70, man.
Yeah, but there would have to be PED testing all over the place if a kicker hit from 7.
But it's the only thing.
No human leg is capable of doing this.
But it's all about enticing teams to actually want to kick a 72-yard field goal. Like making it a 4-point field goal, it's got a little more juice to it. It's like, okay, maybe we should think about this. Maybe we shouldn't punt.
No, 4 is not enough. If no one has literally ever done it, make it a touchdown. If you kick
a full 6 points.
If you kick a 70-plus yarder, you get a 6-point field goal.
It's good, dude. I think how long until a 70-yard field goal is made in a regular season or playoff game?
Honestly, I would say within the next 5 years.
Oh, within the next 2.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen this UTSA kicker?
Mm-mm.
He at his pro day knocked down some 60-yarders and then ran a ridiculous 40. I got he is
ran a 40.
Run some fakes.
Hold on. I got to find his pro day workout because it was insane.
Shut up.
He is the most athletic kicker since Marquette King or whatever that guy's name was.
Yeah, Marquette King.
Definitely not Presley Harvin, that fat punter that the Steelers had.
Hey, I am pro fat specialists, okay? Because Sam Sloman was just, you just wanted to pinch him on his cheeks.
Okay. You go. I go. His name is Jaffer Murphy, and he ran a 4.5 140. He is a weapon, dude. Think about the fake plays, the fake kick or field goals you could run with a kicker that runs a 4.5. I don't even care if he's good. Just kick the hell out of the ball.
Can you guys name the highest drafted kicker in NFL history?
The Florida State kid.
Yeah.
I also thought it was the Florida State guy.
Oh, but it's in 1917.
1966. Charlie Gogolak was the number 6 pick.
What a name.
The Washington Redskins picked him number 6.
What did he do?
1966.
What was his name again?
Gogolak.
Let's see. He did not come close to living up to that status. He played 6 years. His career field goal percentage was 55.9%. In his best season, he hit 75% of his field goals. So, did not work.
I'll tell you this, though. He did lead the league his rookie year in extra point attempts, and he led the league in field goal attempts and field goals made in 1965. In 1965.
Sebastian Janikowski, first-round draft pick.
That I knew.
17th
That's who we were
overall.
just talking about, isn't it?
No, Gogolak.
No, the Florida State guy. We said that.
No, that Sebastian, not.
I was thinking of
there was
his
two
name,
of them.
the second rounder.
Oh, Robert Aguayo?
Yes.
Aguayo.
Mr. Perfect was literally his nickname, and he flamed out so fast.
He was a disaster.
Yeah,
Tampa, I
huge
think,
bust.
spent a second-round pick on him.
Yes.
How does that happen?
It-
It's like golf. I get it. The conditions may be different, but the process is the same.
You ever seen that show on Apple TV that Owen Wilson plays the golfer?
No.
It's really good.
I'm sure it is.
Apple TV doesn't
Apple
miss.
TV has some
Apple
good stuff.
TV puts out unlimited bangers that no one is watching.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's this.
including Nashville SC bangers on MLS Season Pass.
All right, calm down. Yes, we know we can listen to you on Apple TV. Anyway, Owen Wilson plays this, stud PGA golfer that crashes out in a tournament, essentially, because some guy was trash talking him or something like that. Something about his dead kid.
That'll do it.
Yeah, sure. That was a little callous of me to categorize it that way. But anyway, just massive crash out, turns into a head case. and then, is just a drunk for the remainder of his career until he finds this kid that it helps revitalize his love of coaching golf. I can't remember the name of the show. But, I mean, I don't know. I feel like you get head cases all the time. Like, who's the...
It's called Stick, according to
Stick
Dixie, which I don't know. Dixie's doing a thing.
Tough to trust Dixie after the first encounter. I think that who's the player from LSU, the basketball player from LSU that just melted down as far as he is so unwilling to shoot.
Ben Simmons?
Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons has been a head case for years, but didn't start out that way in the NBA. And since then, he is so loath to shoot the ball that he's just a liability out there. He's still a good defensive player.
Yeah, but never lived up, obviously. He was a three-time All-Star, still never lived up to that number one pick. Man, is LSU, totally unrelated, but are they going to fire their coach yet? What is going on? Bunch of college basketball coaching news flying around.
Why don't we touch on that? Because that is the biggest news of the day, that Hubert Davis got fired at North Carolina. What, Ross? Your thoughts?
I cut my mic on for half a second and he was bellowing.
What the hell was that?
Oh, he's upset that Hubert Davis is gone as a Duke fan. Yeah. Also, the Bill Self rumors are getting weird.
Yeah, let's talk about that. We'll get the Bill Self audio. We'll talk about that and potential NBA expansion coming up next.
12:04. Good afternoon from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Down studio. I'm Lucas Panzica. The Predators' roll continued last night at Bridgestone. 5 goals in the first period on their way to a 6-3 win over San Jose. Philip Forsberg, a goal and a pair of assists. He has 12 points during this 5-game win streak as the Preds still occupy that second wild card spot in the West. Big coaching news in college hoops. Hubert Davis is reportedly out at North Carolina after 5 seasons, including a trip to the national championship game in his first season, but back-to-back first-round exits in the NCAA tournament in the last 2 years. In NFL news, Joe Flacco is back-o for another year with the Bengals, signing a 1-year contract at the age of 41. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Final hour is upon us. We're happy to have you. We're going to be happy to have Daniel Jeremiah of the NFL Network, their lead draft analyst. He's going to jump on the show via Zoom in about 15 minutes from now. Correct, Robert? Looking forward to that. Robert's got all manner of draft questions for him.
Nah, I'm going to cancel it. Don't tell him not to worry about it.
Why? What happened?
I'm worried I would make a mistake.
Did he also text you and say that
he was like,
Marvin
yes,
Harrison Jr.?
You idiot. He's like, can't wait to come on. Make sure you plug me and Bucky Brooks. And by the way, you're an idiot. Marvin Harrison Jr. got taken at 4 overall like 2 years ago.
Ty Simpson's pro day has begun in Tuscaloosa.
Okay. Is Orlovsky there? Boots on the ground reporting?
I'll get him as a replacement. The only person who's been more wrong than me today.
Okay. You as a Ravens fan taking any opportunity you can to dogpile on Dan Orlovsky's grave is just, it's in poor taste.
Well, it's him and Tom Pelissero now.
Why? What happened to Pelissero?
Oh, Pelissero just running with the agent info after the Max Crosby trade. Go read that ESPN article. Should have waited. Being first isn't the best. You should try to be right.
Okay. Take a breath. I also saw Nick Wright go at Ian Rappaport the other day about false information on Travis Kelce's contract.
Yeah, don't care if it's not in a Starbucks.
It is my deepest regret from Combine that we did not make a trip to the Rappaport Schultz Starbucks.
Mine's that we didn't run a 40.
Yeah, that's fair. We were also ready to go. Lucas is it's the only time that Lucas has ever actually tried to do something, like tried to get something off the ground, and all of us were like, no, let's go home. Anyway, Hubert Davis got fired after being given the option to step down. He declined. Has there ever been a scenario in which you are given the option, hey, Hubert, we would like to offer you the option. Everybody gets the option, right? Offer you the option to step down.
Yeah, I think for a legend and former player like that, that has to play into it.
Sure.
What an interesting tenure he had.
Where it's just right out the gates in the championship game. He basically, the highlight of his tenure is playing spoiler to the end of Coach K.
Yes. Like, to me, UNC, won the rivalry in that moment. Yeah. Like Coach K is Duke basketball, right? So we played that clip incessantly. That was early days. That was within the first year of the show, too, where they went to Cameron Indoor for Coach K's last game at Cameron Indoor, won, and they had the whole post-game festivity. They were doing all the honoring of Coach K after the game.
Very uncomfy.
They lose the game. The crowd's going, and what was the clip that we kept playing from Coach K? Everybody, please
be
calm.
quiet. Be quiet.
Truly, and then for them to meet again in the Final Four and UNC win again, I was like, that's it. The rivalry's over. It's
Cancel
over.
the rivalry.
North Carolina won permanently. I don't care what happens for the next 100 years.
What is the name of the Robert's talking to somebody back there, so perhaps he's not listening to us. I think it's the Tobacco Road rivalry. Is that what North Carolina and Duke is called?
Tobacco Road.
Yes.
Tobacco Road.
Wait, Were you, remind me, you came to us in 2022, if I'm not mistaken?
Something like that.
Right? I think. So you
like
were.
we adopted a child or a pet
Yeah,
or
we
something.
found you.
Came to us.
Mama.
I remember the first conversation I ever had with him. He called the control room looking for a job.
I do too. I said, who is that?
But you were in Carolina still during the end of that 2021-22 basketball season where
Everyone be quiet. Everyone be quiet.
That's exactly.
Yes.
Like, what was the climate like then? How tense and toxic was it then?
Like around the Coach K departure?
Yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah, that was tough, dude, because like they had all the bells and whistles. I think Barack Obama was at that game. Like it was
it was a star-studded event.
They were so sure they were going to win that game.
It was like the opener. It was like the opener for North Carolina football this year with Belichick, where it's just everybody comes out of the woodwork, right? Like Michael Jordan's there.
What a time.
Just
what a time. But
unbelievable.
Like the ups and downs of this tenure. So you do all of that. You take down Coach K in his farewell, get to the Final Four, lose the national championship game, and then year two, remember they missed the tournament and then declined the NIT invitation. Yeah. UNC was one of the first to decline the NIT invitation, and everybody dunked on them. Now everybody's declining the NIT. And then he makes the Sweet 16 in year three. He wins the conference, and then back-to-back years of bounced in the first round, and he's out as the head coach at UNC. Just a wild ride, 5 years of Hubert Davis.
Ross hit the nail on the head in our Twitter group where it was like he won he beat Coach K and ended Coach K's farewell tour. And
I sent in a tweet that said that, and then Ross responded.
Yeah, and Ross said he didn't win anything. He won with Roy Williams' team and then couldn't do it again with the guys he recruited, which is 100% true.
Yes.
Everyone that he brought on either failed to reach expectations, did not develop, left because there wasn't a role for them. Like I think he had more good players leave than he had players go to the draft.
Do you think there's a similar dialogue around Mark Pope right now? Like, how does Kentucky, the administration, the people in charge of the NIL budget, do they say, yeah, sure, we'll give you another 22 to go out and get a bunch of players that may or may, and I've heard smarter people than us obviously talk about this. Are you familiar with Matt Norlander and Gary Parrish? They do do CBS Sports college basketball coverage. They got a really good podcast. Anyway, Norlander was talking about the idea that they paid a lot of money for bench players on other quality teams, like overpaid for middling players, and then on top of it, recruited players that were not necessarily fit for what Mark Pope wants to run stylistically. So I would be curious to see what Kentucky basketball, because their fan base is still going to want them to spend the NIL budget on the basketball team.
No doubt.
But is Kentucky reticent to allow Mark Pope to pick players given the struggle that he had with this year's team, where they were infinitely more talented and just underachieved by any stretch of the imagination?
Well, I can't wait to see where North Carolina goes. It's obviously a huge opening. Billy Donovan's name has been tossed around. Like, these are all rumors. He hasn't made the playoffs with the Chicago Bulls in a few years now, potentially to return to college hoops with Billy Donovan. Dusty May's name has been thrown around. I, as a Tennessee alum, would love to see maybe Nate Oates or Todd Golden get scooped up by UNC, but I don't know. I don't know how attractive that is with the situation those guys are in.
Campaign for Kenny Smith.
Yeah, never coached a game in his life. Come on, Stephen A. But it's an interesting opening.
That's like what? Okay, so just quickly on the Kenny Smith thing, because it is easy to dismiss it, but Louis Riddick gets talked about for general manager openings every year. And he's never gotten one.
Yeah.
Is it that different? I mean, like, Louis Riddick has front office
worked
experience.
in front office. I think it is different. Yeah, I think it is different with the current landscape. One name that never gets brought up, I feel like everybody wants to talk about Billy Donovan and Dusty May and Nate Oates, but TJ Otzelberger and what he's done at Iowa State. Like, if Rick Barnes were to hang it up in 2 years and Otzelberger is still at Iowa State, as a Tennessee fan, that's what I'm saying. Go get that guy. Who Tennessee's about to face in the Sweet 16. But interesting times, and we'll see. Everybody assumes that Kansas will be open too, right? But that's been weird.
Yeah, let's hear from Bill Self, because this was immediately after their tournament loss. And Kansas has been up and down this year. They're not their prototypical championship caliber squad. Let's hear from Bill Self in his end of game press conference, not end of season press conference, but end of game. I guess they're the same thing.
I'll get back and get with family and visit and see what's going on. I love what I do. I need to be able to do it where I'm feeling good and healthy to do it, fairly well. So I'll get back home and it'll all be discussed. No, I haven't decided. I'll get back and visit with family, and I've had some obviously some issues off the court health wise, and that'll be discussed. But I love what I do. I want to feel good while I'm doing it though. So we'll get back and we'll discuss that when we get back.
So just one of those things where it's never sounded more in question than it does right there. Because normally it's just like, yeah, I'm ready to go for next season.
Rumors are flying that he's retiring. There's been fake reports that he's retiring, and he's put out a statement saying no news, all BS, bad info. So interesting times in the coaching carousel.
Daniel Jeremiah of the NFL Network joins us next. Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken, the best hot chicken in the world, indisputably. Daniel Jeremiah of the NFL Network joins us now. Of course, you can see him on the NFL Network's draft coverage. You can hear him with Bucky Brooks on the Move the Sticks podcast. He is also doing a podcast called 40s and Free Agents with Greg Rosenthal of the NFL Network that you should check out, make you smarter as well. What is Daniel Jeremiah fueled by at this time of year? Because I have to imagine you're very tired. Like, I know you love this stuff, and I know that your work is something that you take a lot of pride, a lot of joy in. But yeah, I mean, you have to be wearing down a little bit this time of year.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's sad, man, because I punched out caffeine like a month ago, which is probably the worst decision. So I'm fueled today. I'm fueled today by some Kirkland sparkling water, courtesy of Costco. That's what I'm fueled by right now. It's depressing.
Dude, help me understand how you could cut out caffeine at all, in the midst of this.
A month out?
Brother.
So this is what happens. I'm 48. And when you start having to do blood work, you try and cheat the system. So when you just like, okay, I can kind of all clean everything for a couple months, get my lab work done. I sleep well at night. We're all good. But man, that was timing wise, not my best in terms of positioning that appointment.
At Move the Sticks is where you can follow him on social media, where you can get some additional draft insights and information. Their mock draft 3.0 is the most recent mock draft that I've seen from Daniel Jeremiah, in which he has the Tennessee Titans landing his second overall prospect in this draft class in Jeremiah Love. We've obviously talked a lot about him. He just had his pro day. I know he didn't really participate in the pro day yesterday, but just coming off the Notre Dame pro day, he's top of mind again, Daniel, here in Nashville. And what is it about him that makes him the second best player to you in this class?
Well, I just think you're talking about somebody who's so dynamic, in a league that's obsessed with explosive plays. He gives them to you, and he can give them to you running the ball or catching the ball. And it's not just, check down stuff, swings and screens. Like, he can run legit wide receiver routes from the slot. So he's a total weapon offensively. And, so that's why I love him as a player. And then you think about Tennessee, and look, these D linemen would look great, added to the mix of guys that they've brought in here during the offseason. I think they've got some good pieces around Simmons now. But to me, the value's there. You could make the case for those defensive linemen. But when I think about where they are as an organization and how bad they were offensively last year, and Wan'Dale Robinson's a nice player, but I don't know that they've got a real needle-moving, difference-making addition on the offense in the offseason. And this provides that. And so it's a weapon for Cam. I think it helps you, evaluate him as he's going through year two, new coaching staff. To me, I just love the idea of doing something for my quarterback here with this pick.
Daniel Jeremiah, the lead NFL draft analyst for the NFL Network, is here with us on 104.5 The Zone.
Well, and to that point, Daniel, it has felt like the Carnell Tate sweepstakes, or the discussion around Carnell Tate, maybe 4 is a little too early to start it with. Your mock draft has him going at 6 to Cleveland, but we did some research during the show yesterday going down that developmental line of Ohio State wide receivers. It's really hard to find one that didn't quite work out, especially one that was drafted in the first round. And I know that doesn't technically have anything to do with what Carnell Tate tape shows, right? What happened 5 years ago or 3 years ago at Ohio State. But to you, is that crazy? I mean, could we get to that point in the discussion where Carnell Tate is talked about as potentially a landing spot for the Titans at 4?
I think so. I mean, I'm a little surprised I haven't heard that question starting at pick number 2. If you're thinking about the Jets and their thought process of trying to lay the foundation for their quarterback that they would add in 2027, look, when you're ranked as like my 6th player, people and teams are going to have it a little different here or there, but that's absolutely in the range in the ballpark. If you're picking 4, I mean, without question, they're doing their homework on him. And I'd applaud it if they did it. I'll be on set when that pick gets announced. And if they take Tate, I'll applaud it as doing something for Cam Ward, which I can fully appreciate. That's why I'm making the argument for Love there, but I wouldn't hate that pick at all.
Not Titans related, but the quarterback discussion has taken up a lot of oxygen online over the last couple of days. Fernando Mendoza and Ty Simpson. Simpson throwing as we speak at his pro day. You did not have Ty Simpson going in the first round of your mock draft. Could you help me understand why the gap seems to be so big for a lot of people between the two? where I have a hard time putting that together. Maybe Mendoza may be a better prospect, but with what Ty Simpson showed, especially in that first big bulk of the season, the lack of turnovers, the command he had, the athleticism that I feel like is underrated, why does there seem to be such a big gap between Simpson and Mendoza to you?
Well, look, to me, I can hit the pro Mendoza side of it as you talk about start with the obvious stuff, the size, the arm strength, the toughness, the intelligence, the ability to make big throws in big moments. 3rd and 7+ throws, you can go through that reel. It's exceptional, and there's big time throws and big clutch moments of big games. So he checks all those boxes for me. That's why he's clearly far and away number one. And then with Ty, I don't think the way I look at it, it's not like you like the player, you hate the player. It's not some extreme thing. We're in the evaluation business, and in that word evaluation is value. So where do you value him? And when you talk about somebody who's had 15 starts, who played great, for 7 or 8 weeks, I would argue played poorly for 3 or 4 weeks. And then you get 1 or 2 left there in the middle. So you take that as the body of work, which is very lean. You look at history, which going back to 2011, Cam Newton's the only quarterback with fewer than 17 starts that's been any good in the NFL that went in the first round. So you're fighting that. Now you don't have elite size. You're 6'1", you're a little over 200 pounds. You dipped under 200 pounds because you had some issues durability-wise where you weren't even fully practicing at the end of the year. So that calls into question, can you survive an NFL grind over 17 weeks? So then it becomes, okay, there's some good things here. Where do you value him? And for me, that's the second pick for a team. That's a second-round pick, or that's somebody that has a second pick later in the first round. Tyler Shuck last year, he played great. Jackson Dart played really well. But both their teams valued them correctly. They took another player before they took that quarterback, and that's where they were slotted to go, and that's where they got the value. So that's where I come down on the Ty Simpson thing. I like him. I think he's a good player, but I think you have to acknowledge there is legitimate risk when you're talking about the sample size combined with the size.
What's the hardest position for you to evaluate?
For years, I would say safety was the hardest, because you can watch 4 or 5 games in college. They're playing a lot of quarters coverage. You don't really see them, impact the game. You don't see them making as many plays, and they can kind of disappear into the tape a little bit. But now, as we have the technology and the video, you can go through and you can cut things up and go through the whole season in an efficient manner, and you can see what they can do and how they move and how they play the ball. But for a long time, that was a difficult one for me.
As far as I want to go back to your comment about evaluation and value being a core tenet of that, just to talk about what the Titans are trying to accomplish, because they have made, and I understand that, Mike Borgonzi and in this case Robert Saleh are not, it's not their fault that things have gone as poorly in Tennessee. It's been a slow kind of bleed over the course of 4 years, and really rooted in failures in the draft evaluation process from general managers and front offices past. But as you look at the way that Borgonzi specifically, and obviously they've got a lot of veteran personnel people around him, and Reggie McKenzie and Dave Ziegler, guys who have done this job at a high level before, the path that they are trying to take, what do you like about what they're doing, and what questions do you still have about what their approach is going to be?
Well, I think they've done a good job of just like plugging holes, of filling in cracks where they didn't have, NFL quality level starters. They've fixed that to a large degree. They filled in a lot of those pieces there. So I can appreciate that. Now, to me, that's a foundational thing. Now they need more impact blue chip premier players. Like if you're looking at teams that win Super Bowls, or teams that are perennial contenders to win Super Bowls, you're talking about, anywhere from 8 to 12, like just impact blue chip, top tier. You could argue top 5, top 10 at their position in the NFL. You've got to have close to a dozen of those guys. And so that to me is the next step. So it's not about, who are guys that are, look the part and can fill roles. Now it's about, okay, who are the players we need to add to this roster that when you're getting ready to play us, and you're doing the advanced scouting report that you've got highlighted, like outside of Simmons, like we cannot let him beat us. Right. They need to have more of those players on the offensive side of the ball as well.
As you have gone through the evaluation process with this crop of players, this crop of prospects, how many blue chip caliber players would you say are available in this draft?
Yeah, I don't think there's quite as many as maybe in some previous years, but I would put that number probably in the 14 to 16 range, like right around there. The strength of this draft is more in that second, third round. I think there's a lot of value to be found there. And look, it happens like this a lot. Sometimes that drop off might be at 22, it might be at 18 or 26, what have you. And then usually there's another clump of 50 players that are pretty interchangeable. I would say that starts this draft a little bit earlier.
Daniel Jeremiah of the Move the Sticks podcast, of the 40s and Free Agents podcast, and of course NFL Network's draft coverage, here with us on 104.5 The Zone.
Fascinated to get your perspective on this as someone who worked as a scout for organizations with very strong voices on the coaching staff, whether it was Brian Billick and Rex Ryan in Baltimore or obviously Andy Reid and Sean McDermott in Philly. And this situation with the Titans, where you have Robert Saleh and Brian Daboll, two guys that have been head coaches within the last 2 years, basically managing one side of the ball for each. What do you make of that dynamic and how it could play out on draft day with Mike Borgonzi kind of hanging over all of it? How difficult can it be for a consensus to be reached, especially in a spot like the Titans are at 4, with so many different feasible options on the table, more than usual?
Yeah, I think it's important that you get on the same page. And I was talking to somebody with a team the other day in a leadership role, and they were talking about how their coaches were very hands-off and how they loved it because we could just pick the players and you don't get to complain. If you don't have a strong opinion as a coach, you can't complain about the players that I get for you. And then you talk to somebody else in a decision-making role and say, like, hey, the key to our success is the fact that we're very much aligned and the fact that the coaches let us know what they like, what they don't like, and then we can go shopping and get them things that fit them. I definitely think that's probably the better way to go when you have coaches that are bought in and you end up finding the players you get on the same page with. You don't want to draft somebody that they don't like or don't want to play. But I think it's also important that you put some guardrails there of like, hey, here are the 4 receivers I want you to watch that we're considering with this first round pick. You give them 30 names instead of 4, and all of a sudden now you might have some interesting discussions when they're arguing for the 15th receiver to be one of the top 4 guys. Then you can get in some sticky moments.
None of these guys, of course, are finished products before they get to the NFL. But as you evaluate the crop of centers that are available in this draft, is there one or two in particular that you would feel comfortable making a day one starter for a team like Tennessee that has a lot of offensive line needs?
I like Logan Jones, like plug and play out of Iowa. He's just steady. He's going to be a really, really solid player. That would be my choice, right out the jump. Hecht is another good one out of Kansas State. I think he's going to be able to plug and play. I think there's some good centers in this draft. There's a kid out of Oklahoma who's probably more of a 4th round pick, who's played, some multiple spots, but does have some work at center. I think he's, kind of in that range. Another day 3 guy, Zune from A&M, would be one who I think has a chance to develop and be that player. But, right out the jump, I think Logan Jones is going to start day 1 for somebody next year, and he'll be fine.
Daniel, we're very appreciative of your time. I know you're slammed this time of year. Elite background setup for you, by the way. It's probably the best that I've ever seen. I'm sure you get that compliment a lot, but we see a lot of bad Zoom setups.
Yeah, well, this is like when NFL Network came and installed this. I have not read a single one of these books, so I feel kind of like a little bit of a fraud in that regard. I'm not even sure there's words on those pages, to be frank. Yeah, they might just be stage props.
Well, there's words on NFL.com by Daniel Jeremiah that you can check out. Thank you for the time, sir. We appreciate it.
All right, guys. Take care.
That is Daniel Jeremiah of the NFL Network. That's how you know you can trust that man's analysis.
Very honest.
Because anybody else would easily say, yes, I have many leather-bound books that I have spent countless hours reading behind me.
Makes you wonder. That's a peek behind the curtain right there. NFL Network set that up for him. So how many of these Zoom backgrounds that you see are these really well-read people that we're listening to?
Definitely not Cam Wolf. I need to talk to Cam about his background setup. Needs a little work.
I love that patriotic App State helmet behind him. That thing was sick.
So well done by Robert to make sure that we could have Daniel on the show today, and also well done by Stoney Keeley. I asked the audience to send us draft questions that you would like for us to ask Daniel Jeremiah, and I said that I would pick the best of them. Unsurprising, Stoney Keeley had the best of them.
Love Stoney, but he's basically a colleague at this point. He's on Titans Talk Back. He does football and other F words.
Oh, yeah, sure. But it was the best question. So
that is not surprising.
Stoney Keeley gets the shout out.
Guys, I think I may have embarrassed myself. As he was leaving, I kind of dropped him down, you know how you do, so he's not talking on the air anymore. I was like, hey, thanks, Daniel Jeremiah.
Oh, no.
I love you. And then this was the face he made. You'll have to wait till it comes on
Zone TV.
It's on Zone TV.
Okay.
YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch.
We have a slight delay, at least on our end, for what I'm watching on the stream.
Did you say I love you?
No, you didn't.
Usually you say that on the air.
Robert.
If you're going to say it, say
I want
it
him
on
to
the air.
know how I feel. Want him to know how I feel.
You don't? Oh, my God.
So for those who can't see, Daniel's face, his chin is propped up on his hand, and he's kind of giving this look at the camera. Like, what did this guy just say? He loves me.
Me whenever Cheyenne tells me I'm not allowed to get drunk tonight. He was exceptional.
He was good. Basically said he wouldn't bat an eye at the idea of Carnell Tate at 4. He said he would applaud it, in fact. He just has not cracked that discussion, it seems. Carnell Tate to the Titans at 4.
It is, I think it's telling. And again, this is, you try not to get too in the weeds when you spend your entire, basically my entire existence is spent around this football team. Okay, so I can have, certain blind spots, I feel like. When you spend enough time around anybody, like you get so comfortable or view things a certain way that you almost become set in it. I do think it's telling that enough people who are externally analyzing the Tennessee Titans are saying, no, please God, get Cam some help. Like, I get that you could have potentially a special pass rush in years to come if you were to add Bain or Bailey or Styles or Reese to this circumstance. And I'm not saying that I've moved off my position of I really like Sonny Styles for the Titans. But I do think that people are looking at like Mina and Solak and Daniel Jeremiah keep banging the table for receiver more than running back. Daniel Jeremiah has been the strongest voice that we've had on the show for the running back. Not for the running back, for Jeremiah Love. Where even Brugler has said, even though he mocked Jeremiah Love to the Titans, maybe not the best use of a 4th overall pick for positional value's sake. But help for Cam.
Right. And you're talking about, like, okay, in a vacuum, running back at 4, sure, there's not this grand argument in terms of positional value, but then when you include what that does to kind of nurture the development of your year 2 quarterback, how much does that inflate the value of somebody like Jeremiah Love? Right? You're not just drafting a running back. You're drafting somebody that can help Cam Ward and this offense move forward and open things up for Cam Ward to take the leap that everybody will expect of him as a former number 1 overall pick. A leap similar to what Caleb Williams just did for the Chicago Bears. That's the type of thing everybody's going to be looking for from Cam this year. Even if it's under a different context, the Bears probably in a better place roster-wise going into this past season than the Titans will be going into 2026. But that is what will be expected of Cam. So I'm not going to turn my nose up at any argument that says, no, whatever puts Cam in the best position is what the Titans need to do it for.
Yeah, well, it's Cosell's entire argument, right? It's everything from top of the organization to the very, very bottom, part-time employees to ownership. Everything has to be done in service of Cam. And so if that is the core tenet, I mean, it'll be telling to see what they view is in the best interest of Cam, right? Or if they are approaching this in a more... Obviously, they're trying to do everything that they can to support the football team writ large. But if we're talking about specifically Cam, I mean, he needs help everywhere. The pair of 4th-round picks are fine, but they're not game-changing players on offense. Chimdike is a game-changing special teamer. The offensive line situation is, I don't know. It felt like they had at least somewhat of a solve. And how quickly did that evaporate with just 2 moves on the offensive line unit? And the offensive line thing that they tried last year really didn't work for 2/3 of the season until they made a number of different changes. The running back, I don't think that they are as bad of a running back room as they are in other positions, right? We would say that Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears, they're not the best combination of running backs in the world.
You can have a solid run game with Tony Pollard as your bell cow.
With a solid offensive line performance, which is what they lacked for, again, 2/3 of the season. So, one thing, the offensive line situation to me feels like it can help solve a number of problems for Cam beyond just one player being a fix for Cam, if that makes sense.
Could there be a return of Will Wade to LSU?
Find out next. Welcome back to the show. Fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken. Best hot chicken in the world. The Titans had a stadium tour for a number of different, they had 3 different tiers of stadium tour yesterday. I went on the first one with Dawn and Brent. Saw the latest updates on the new Nissan Stadium. I've never sat in the stands at Nissan for a Titans game, obviously. But it was the biggest, not that, I have any grand takeaways about the stadium construction. I think I'm more interested in the construction of the stadium than I am the actual stadium. I'm fascinated by it.
I mean, how could you not be?
Architecture is crazy to me. As somebody who has no concept of math whatsoever, how these things, or manual labor for what it's worth. It is.
No, the undertaking that it is like almost unfathomable.
The Undertaker was there?
Yeah, happy birthday to the Undertaker,
Happy birthday. How'd the drywall look?
Drywall.
Is it starting to look like what it's going to look like?
Starting to look like drywall. But the biggest observation that I had is the seats are just a lot closer to the field. Like because I asked Burke Nihill, who was helping us out with some of the things that they wanted to point out to us with explanations. I asked him how much closer on average are the seats to the field than they are in the old building, and he said 38% on average, which is significant.
Yeah, love it.
So that was one of the just simply observations that I had walking around the new Nissan Stadium yesterday. And we appreciate the people that were willing to take us on that tour.
And did he answer what they're doing with all the dirt?
I don't believe I answered that question or asked that question. What do you got on Will Wade?
Will LSU make a strong-ass offer to Will Wade? Like, the stories just write themselves with all this. Yeah. So this is from Matt Moscona of LouisianaSports.net and Locked On LSU. He is reporting that Will Wade met with NC State officials Wednesday to discuss reports around a possible return to LSU. NC State is expected to make a competitive offer within 24 hours. This was tweeted by Matt at about noon today to keep Wade in North Carolina. He says he can confirm LSU is working to bring McNeese AD Heath Schroyer to Baton Rouge. Obviously, Will Wade worked for Schroyer at McNeese State before making the leap back into the Power Four with NC State. The thought is that would be enough, according to Moscona, to lure Wade back to LSU. His $5 million buyout at NC State drops to $3 million after April 1st. LSU reportedly content to wait another week to make a move. So there is some smoke around this. I will say, as of now, they have not fired Matt McMahon. And he says in the reporting, if Wade stays in North Carolina, Matt McMahon will return as LSU's coach next year.
That's tough.
That's brutal. And Matt McMahon
tough.
reading this, like, okay, I guess my future here hinges on whether or not Will Wade is back.
In the cuck chair.
I'll go to the dance with you if my other date doesn't want to go with me.
It's crazy. And then there's Ross Dellinger, who adds, remember Louisiana's governor and his involvement in the Brian Kelly situation?
That Muppet of a governor that they have running around down there.
Ross Dellinger adds, seems like a good time to reshare our story from the fall on the role that Louisiana governor plays in LSU athletics and how last year at this time, he urged the school's former AD to rehire Will Wade. He pushed Scott Woodward to hire Wade, according to the Yahoo report. Quote, Scott refused to do it, said one person with knowledge of the situation.
So they ran Woodward out of town very shortly thereafter.
Exactly. So that's where things stand at the moment. But man, wouldn't that just be the most full... Like, remember the HBO docuseries?
Oh, yeah.
People went to prison.
It was a federal investigation.
Over this stuff. Will Wade was a centerpiece of this. And the idea of him coming back to LSU, and it wasn't that long ago. I mean... When did Wade last coach at LSU? 2019?
I thought we were
2022.
We were doing the radio show when that documentary
2022.
Came
out. So that would be quite a full circle moment there if Wade makes his way back. The Nashville-born coach of the NC State Wolfpack.
I didn't know he's from here.
He is. He's from Nashville. His first head coaching job was in Tennessee in Chattanooga.
I did polls today. but I have a question that I would like to pose to the two of you that I feel like might be more pressing. I will leave it to the room.
Did you post my poll?
I did not.
Then my answer is no.
Okay, so Lucas, unless you're dying to do polls today.
Go on.
The polls would be presented by
Two Rivers Ford. Go on.
What is the worst offense that you can commit as a pet parent? Like beyond abuse.
Like, beyond abuse.
Beyond abuse.
Like neglect? I mean.
That falls under the category. I forgot to go to the pet store to get more food yesterday. And then
That's neglect.
Well, no, because this is how I'm going to follow it up. Okay, what is the most extreme lengths that either of you have gone? Because Lucas has a dog and a cat. Was the dog yours?
No.
The dog is Blue's, but the dog lives with you.
I've lived with the dog the dog's basically mine.
Okay.
Common law marriage.
Robert has two cats. What is the most extreme measure of make up to your pet that you have ever done? Like, if you felt like you did something and then you got the big saucer eyes, what's the most extreme? Because I felt awful yesterday forgetting to go to the pet food store.
I ain't making up nothing. You a cat. They ain't going to remember.
No, I do.
I open up a can of canned chicken and feed it to them. That's your breakfast today.
An abundance of treats and attention. Yeah.
They forgot. They just happy you're home. They don't even know you didn't feed them.
They don't want me in that house. Are you kidding me? They are upset every time I come home from a work trip.
Yeah, I can't get Leo off of me when I come home. I feel bad. I feel like he's just bored all day. I need to get him another cat.
Have one of mine. Moon is like that. I felt so bad that I forgot to go pick up dry food or wet food yesterday that I scoured my fridge for things. I've never given them human food before. I made a beautiful piece of Atlantic salmon, all right, in the oven, baked salmon for these formerly street rats, and then, put it on plates for them to eat yesterday.
Did they eat it?
Yeah.
Oh, you ruined it by cooking it.
Well, no, you can't give it to them raw. They got parasites.
No.
It's not sushi.
They're animals, dude.
Right.
They can eat it raw.
I don't know. I feel like cats are like very specific. Like every time I change dry food, there's some kind of intestinal situation that Frank has going on.
They say dogs can't eat chocolate, but the dog I live with has debunked that time and time again. He's eaten an entire cookie cake.
Oh, God.
And one time he ate an entire bowl, like a big bowl of Hershey's Kisses. Like came home and it looked like somebody had wiped the bowl clean, and the next day he puked up a bunch of tinfoil, and that was that.
I was about to say, his turd looked holographic.
No, he just puked up the tinfoil and just kept on moving, like no issues.
Dude, I really do think it's kind of like if you're cooking chicken, the temperature is supposed to be this, but you can technically eat chicken that has been undercooked under that temperature. That's just the safest temperature you could possibly do it at. We used to cover my dog's food with bacon grease. My outside dog, Ruger. Oh, she was a great dog.
I bet she loved that.
She did, and had a very shiny coat.
That's the show. It's going to do it for us today. We appreciate your guys' participation. If you missed Daniel Jeremiah, go check out the podcast, wherever it is that you get your podcasts. And we will talk to you tonight, Robert and me, on Primetime.